All right, welcome to the Copus Family Pottery and Flower Farm compound. We're firing the big wood kiln right now, but before we go check that out, I figured I'd give y'all a quick tour of the grounds. So the history of this property is interesting to me, at least. I bought it in 2007, right after I graduated from UNCA, and when I got it, there was an old house on the land that I proceeded to set on fire, which is the quickest, fastest way to get rid of a house. The land serves multiple purposes. It's the home of our family pottery, but it's also the origin place for the Carolina Flowers Flower Farm, which does not exist here really anymore, but we do have these gardens that are part of the experience. So over here is the marital platform where me and my wife Emily got married. And then over here is so this is the party plaza. It's our entertainment center that we created. One of the things that we're really trying to cultivate with this property is make it a destination and an experience. So we have events here where we cook pizzas and we have a fire, and this is a whole like hangout zone, which kind of adds value to the experience of coming and buying pottery and flowers. So the next stop on our tour is the Contemplative Labyrinth Garden. I've always loved making places where my wife can plant flowers. We both love flowers. We're really into gardening. It's one of our main hobbies and professions. So I built this garden, which is just adds to the whole experience. So we have two studios here on the land. One is the assistant studio. So I have two assistants that work with me part-time. One of them works here and lives here on the property. And we built this this last summer in 2019. And like many things on this property, it's still a work in progress. But it's been a great home for our current assistant, Jesse McClanahan. And it's going to be a great home for assistants for years to come. So this is my studio where I work currently. This building has a long history. When I bought the land, there were no structures, and so I built all of this. And this building initially was the tool barn. It was the only building on the property that we could lock. So all the tools lived in here, and then we built the tool barn. And then it became the clay manger and material storage barn. And then we built a clay manger material storage barn, and then it became the studio. So it's been my studio for the past 2.5 years, and ultimately this will become the main gallery on the property, but everything is like pay as you go and we work in phases. So this is where I've been working, and like everything, it's a kind of a mess right now because we're in the middle of a firing, and you know, that's just how it goes. Things are messy. All right, so we're actually firing the kiln right now. So if you follow me this way, I will give you the insight, the in-depth experience of what a wood firing is like. So wood firing is a team sport. So we're working on a skeleton crew right now because of the coronavirus, but Tristan's here in the front. Tristan, what are you doing?
I'm currently down firing the first chamber. So we're putting wood in here with the intent to cool it rather than to raise the temperature.
Great. So we finished the front chamber heat work at about 1 o'clock today, and now we're doing a down firing, and we've moved on and we're firing the second chamber. So my boy Gillen on the right. What up, Gil?
So right now we're just stoking the second chamber with the stick wood. And we're basically just trying to get this thing to temperature. There's a bunch of glazeware in there, but also those charcoal zones that are super important. So we're about there. So we're just gonna do probably like a handful more stokes and be ready to do some charcoal introduction.
We're about 6 days into this, which includes wood prep and kiln prep, loading, and we're on the 3rd day of firing. So this firing, with 2 chambers full of wares and 1 chamber full of bricks. So Gil, are you going over there?
Yep.
Great. Come up here, you can see the fire. So Gil just scoped. It's the blowhole action. So we're about done with this chamber, and in a little bit we're gonna do the charcoal, which is exciting. We lit Sunday night at around 11 o'clock, and then me and my beautiful wife Emily did the overnight sleep fire, which we always do, it's our tradition. And then we work in shifts of 8 hours, so 3 crews a day, work 8 to 4, 4 to midnight, midnight to 8. So right now we're on the last day of the firing. We're about to finish the 2nd chamber. We're gonna do charcoal introduction, which creates all kinds of atmospheric effects in the kiln. So that's an exciting thing that's about to happen. We're just about a couple stokes away from finishing the heat work on the 2nd chamber. It's go time.
Right now, we just filled this chute up full of charcoal. In just a minute here, Josh and Matt are going to open up that port on the kiln over there and just empty this chute out into the channel that we've set up to have charcoal introduced. And while Matt and Josh are introducing the charcoal, Tristan and I are going to continually just keep these full for them, and just we have about 7 bags of charcoal to introduce into this 2nd chamber here. So we'll just keep going until the charcoal is completely gone.
We're basically creating ember effects in the 2nd chamber in areas where we would not normally have those effects. You know how you have those moments where you're like, what I do for a living is absurd. It's, you know, sort of having one of those right now.